Hey, welcome everyone. I read this post today that inspired me and made me want to share it with everyone that needed to hear it. So the full post and a link to it is going to be down in the description below. But it was made by I Am Now 8, and it is titled "The True Reason Why Self-Love Helps Me to Manifest Effortlessly, Find Myself and Truly Embody Being God." Hey everyone. I felt inspired to share my understanding of self-love after an awesome post I read here a few moments ago called "Self-Love Feels Brilliant" by the user Rainbow Slushy. And I wanted to share its importance in manifestation. English is not my first language, so bear with me. When I found out about the law, I went straight to manifest my desires, a special person, money, etc. I struggled a bit because my self-concept was not the best. So many doubts and fears arised, even when I was just persisting, and I wasn't acknowledging my feelings, let alone my state of being. I struggled with depression and anxiety, even suicidal depression. That's how bad it was. But once I learned all this that I'm going to share with you, it was all gone like magic. During lockdown, I dedicated myself to read Neville and Joseph Murphy more in deep. With time, I said enough was enough. I don't want to be a victim to my circumstances, and I started to focus more on myself. Because Neville always said that we are God, and that our conception of ourselves was creating our reality. A few days later, I found the book Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It by Kamal Ravikant. And in there, he expressed that if you love yourself, life will love you back. So I decided to give it a try. Because my insecurities and my old self-concept were stopping me from living peacefully. I desired to stabilize myself first and experience what the author experienced, what Neville experienced, what many people here have experienced. So I committed to it and dedicated myself to love myself. I started this journey with 2 days of telling myself I love myself. I didn't believe it at first, but I kept doing it. Yes, it was mindlessly affirming sometimes, but that's when something clicked and I asked myself, what does love mean to me? I wrote down all the meanings I could give to describe love. For me, love is being in harmony, being grateful, being compassionate, peace, happiness, being loved, being adored, being secured, being protected, being confident, being worthy, being respected, being good enough, being the chosen one, being blessed, being powerful. Once I knew what love meant to me, I started to meditate on that phrase, I love myself. I anchored the feeling of the state of love in my heart area. I felt my heart full of light, warm, and happiness. This might sound cheesy, but I imagined my heart to be a little baby, and every time I said I love myself, I could feel my heart smiling because I was finally giving to it, or better, said recognition, the love that was always within me. After 5 days, I was better than ever. Depression and anxiety were gone. My world started changing. I was already experiencing what Kamal and Neville were talking about. Since love is a state of being, and love is in everyone, in everything, and if I love myself, I could appreciate everything in life because they are an extension of the being within me. We are all connected. The meaning of love started to evolve within days, and that's when I realized love is the only constant. Not love as a feeling, but love as a state of being. Neville said we are God, and God is love, and therefore love is light. The Bible said it so explicitly. And the light shines in darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it. John 1:5. Kamal often referred to this in his book. He said that we have to work more on the light rather than fight the darkness. To me, darkness is our ego. Don't get me wrong, our ego is there to protect us in our human experience, but its mechanism of defense encompasses different states that come from duality. What I mean is that those states create the feeling of anger, resentment, jealousy, competition, etc. It is important to state that our ego is protecting us because In a dangerous situation, it knows how to act. But if we make it our true identity, then we are losing ourselves in a world of shadows. On the other hand, love is our true essence and our true nature, and we can never not be loved. We can forget it, but we are always in a state of love. If we love ourselves, we are always dwelling in light, dwelling in a state where anything is possible. Everything is easy. Everything is already existing because it is heaven. When we are manifesting and we reach the Sabbath, or have that inner knowing we are dwelling in that state of love, it might seem so subtle, but we are connecting to our true self or source. When we make a decision that causes us happiness, we are in a state of love. When we observe instead of react to a circumstance, we are in a state of love. When we choose to forgive, we are in a state of love. If we choose to react, to become a victim, to blame others, to seek competition, to judge ourselves, then we are not in a state of love. We are in a state of fear. That's why I said that we are always in a state of love, because it never leaves us. It is always within us. And it is our choice to let light overcome the shadows or not. The way love protects us is through our reactions to life. It reminds us to be certain that everything is working out in our favor. This doesn't mean to be positive all the time, or to repress our negative emotions, or to vibrate in love. This means that when we feel calmer, we can return to our true nature, and just be sure that circumstances can change all the time. When we love ourselves and recognize how powerful we are naturally, choose to not be bothered by circumstance. In fact, we don't give power to it. We are not fighting our ego, because we know that harmony is flowing around us and everything we don't like will dissolve on its own. I know many people here are triggered with self-love or working on self-concept in general. I was like that. I refused to do it because I thought my desires were running out of time if I focused on myself, or that it will delay them, or that it simply wasn't necessary to manifest because we have manifested our entire lives, so I could jump into manifesting right away. Which you can do, because not all of us have a bad self-concept, but only the relationship we have to maintain forever will be with us. So it is true that it isn't necessary to manifest, but it is so important to manifest effortlessly, to assume easier about anything we want to manifest, and in general, to live happier. Even the simple affirmation of, I am the operant power, I manifest effortlessly, everything always works out in my favor, etc., comes from the state of love. So if we manage to love ourselves, we get immediate access to all the benefits that reinforce that we are indeed God. I want to clarify, we can get any state we want without working on self-love, such as mentioned above. But my point is that love is the foundation of it all. If you try it and experience for yourself, you'll notice that having those assumptions of being worthy, powerful, the operant power, the list goes on, will arise naturally, and your subconscious mind will take them as true, because like I said, those beliefs are already dwelling in us. They are our birthright. For example, feeling unloved, unworthy, not chosen, are not states that are dwelling in love, so they are not our birthright. But we might have accepted them as true at some point because of circumstances. Even being wealthy, healthy, beautiful comes from a state of love. So self-love, it's not a superficial aspect to change, to accept ourselves, or to feel worthy. It is to get us to a higher level of consciousness where we truly embody all the beliefs that belong to us. Like I said above, we can start loving ourselves while meditating on the phrase, I love myself. Let all kind of feelings go through you, whether good or bad or indifferent, because the truth is we can all love ourselves. That is something inside of us, and we are only here to recognize it. Don't feel bad if you don't achieve the feeling of loving yourself in 5, 20, or 30 days. The feelings come naturally because our deep self knows what love is, and it will evolve into your awareness with time until you realize that love is all there is. It's like digging into the depths of your subconscious every time we are telling ourselves, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. Because we will keep finding gold, natural beliefs that are already in a state of love. And it's up to us to recognize them and accept them or not. I hope this helps at least some of you out there and gives you another perspective on what self-love could actually mean. I said actually because we are all at different levels of awareness, so my definition of love might be different from everyone. That is where I am right now, and I can say that experience is from oneself. It's the best way to describe everything I tried to sum up in this small post. See love as the only constant. See love as a place of light where everything good remains the same. Once we step into the dark side, we are in the reality of the ups and downs, but we know that it's just a shadow and it has no power on us. So when you feel ready to start loving yourself, don't feel pressured to do it right away. Just know that it is always there and it never leaves you. It will wait for you to recognize it anytime because that inner being within you already loves you. Be love, choose love, and fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with your inner being. Thank you for listening.